I'm teaching a pre-engagement engagement course right now. And one of the areas that we've just worked on, and I was blown away because it just reiterated the importance of stating your expectations. The assignment I had assigned was from a handout I made that was called Giving Up the Grudge. It's about how to forgive your partner, all of the different resentments you carry, anger from this relationship, which also what happens in this relationship, the current one you have, is related to the past with your childhood, with your parents, with your friends. So basically, the whole homework brought up all these unspoken expectations, hurt feelings, times that you expected your partner to do something differently than they didn't. And then when they didn't do it, of course, you were so upset, so angry, and you held on to that. I want to talk about this because expectations, unsatisfied, unmet expectations, are a killer for relationships. And they kill it because they're a form of premeditated resentment. Whatever you cannot state what you need to your partner and they can't come through with it, they can't read your mind. Basically, what you've done to yourself is set a standard of unmet needs, which will build resentment. And you blame your partner, but it's not your partner, it's you. And so that's why the number one thing you have to remember is that any unspoken expectation you have currently in your relationship, in your friendships, in anything else, will eventually be a killer of love or possible connection where there isn't one. If you can't say what you need, then it has nothing to do with whether or not your partner can fulfill it. It's more about you didn't state it, yet you expected it, you hung on to it, and that's what really deteriorates the relationship. The second thing that untalked about expectations does is it's not about the other person uncaring. We give them all kinds of labels. You're insensitive, you didn't care, if you loved me enough, you would, if I was a priority, if I were the one that would have done that, I would have for sure done that for you. So we start even putting ourselves, projecting what we would do in the situation. But that's ridiculous. We know what we want. So we're setting a standard for our partner that's personal to us. And that's not how relationships work. The third thing it does is when you don't clearly state what your needs are, you basically are setting the relationship up for a lose-lose situation. Because your partner isn't going to be successful and you're going to be resentful. And there's nothing that's a bigger relationship deterrent or killer than that. When you're able to talk about your needs, you're able to express it with words. And I'm saying words because a lot of you will tell me, well, she knew. That had come up before. She knew. He knew. No. You have to state it with your words. Then if you don't, then basically it's a lose-lose. And you're both going to end up feeling frustrated, angry, and it's going to increase conflict. If you want a healthier relationship, you basically have to state the needs. So I'm going to give you some examples of what I consider healthy needs to express. Know what you want and your need in the relationship from yourself and from your partner. So basically, when you're in a relationship, you need to know what you want from that relationship, not only from yourself, to feel needed, to feel like I'm working with someone, to feel like we share a vision, whatever it is, but you have to know what you want in that from your partner. How would your partner show you those things? You need to tell your partner what you need in a polite way. I really need you to help out more at home. And this would look like doing dishes when I don't ask you, helping put the kids to bed, cleaning. When you see me cleaning, instead of just laying on the sofa, I just want you to grab a broom or a dust mop. I want you to understand how these things work as much as I do, so I don't need to tell you. These are just my examples. They may not be yours, but at the same time, you can put that scenario into your lifestyle. Is it possible that your partner has a different opinion about what you need and their ability to fulfill it? So you have to be open. You have to question, what is your feeling about this? Is this an expectation that I shouldn't expect? Is this an expectation that you think is doable? Is it too high? Is it too low? What is it? So you want to get your partner's opinion when you're setting expectations. And basically, you can always change it. You can always say, I think what the need is that I need to feel like I'm not alone. And these are the behaviors I think would help me. If you think differently, if you think that you can't do it, or you think you can show me in another way, I just want to hear about those. These are expectations that are going to be met. And let's face it, if you do this with your expectations, you can say, well, I'd be doing that every day. Maybe you need to reflect. Are your expectations too much for one person? Are you putting too high of expectations on only one person instead of having maybe a bigger social network or resources that you can use? Your partner can't be your counselor. They can't hold you a week out of a month when you're feeling bad. Like, their life can't stop to soothe you. And so you need to consider these things if you're in that vein, or you're thinking about, what are my expectations? And the final thoughts I have about this are basically, unless they come from your mouth and they're your words, you're basically dooming your relationship from getting as close or connected as it could be. I know actions speak louder than words in most ways, but with expectations and needs, those must be stated, because people forget. People don't always read body language the same. And so let's help you get what you need from the relationship, state what you want, and then talk to your partner. Do you think this is possible? If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.